Morning from Miss Dean, or I guess it could be afternoon, depending on when you get the chance to access this video. Wanted to be able to share a kind of neat little book with you today, and I plan to do quite a bit of sharing from it over the next couple of weeks or so. But it is a book called Weird Carolinas, and it was written by Roger Manley. And if you had seen this book in a bookstore, you would have been able to have read the little bit on the bottom to give you kind of an idea of what the book was going to be about, although the name Weird Carolinas really gets your attention, or at least it obviously did mine. Actually, it was a gift from a friend of mine, Tom Fessick, that you may have heard me mention in an earlier video. And this book says it's your travel guide to North and South Carolina's local legends and best kept secrets. And always, when you're picking out a book, you can always find a little bit more information on the back to help you make the decision whether or not this is a book that you would be interested in buying. So, of course, we can't plow through a book this big in a couple of minutes. So I decided to choose a few articles. And what I especially a word? No, but I made it up. Okay, so I love the fact that this book has lots of interesting pictures, and it often has more than one story on a page. They are presented as nonfiction, because even though they're mysteries, they're not completely made up out of somebody's head necessarily. They may be myths or legends or just a local tale or explanation. So we're going to kind of talk about each one as we go through. The first one, I'm going to show you the picture a little bit more closely. It may be difficult to make out what it is that you're seeing, but it is like a riverbed. The bottom of it is sand, and you'll see the words Sand River. And you notice that it says river, but there does not appear to be any water. So, one of the things I would note about the articles in this story is they are like exposition or expository stories. So they are telling you facts, but they're telling you these facts in a neat way so that it keeps your attention. So remember, when you're writing nonfiction text to be read, it does not have to be dry or boring. In fact, a lot of us prefer nonfiction because it's a lot more fun to say, and it's really true, it really happened, or it really exists. But we find it exciting, but you can present it in an interesting way as well. So they're telling us about the Sand River. It says Sand River in Aiken, South Carolina. It's possible to walk on a river and not get your feet wet. See, they hooked us with an interesting beginning. It says because this river is made of quartz sand, and Jacob will know exactly what quartz sand is. In many ways, it's like an ordinary waterway. Its tributaries are several narrow and crooked sand creeks that widen into a broader stream bed. It performs like any other river, except it is white, silent, dry, and from ordinary human perspective, immobile. Immobile means it doesn't move, because M means it doesn't and mobile means move, so it doesn't move. Geologists maintain, meaning they agree with what they've said and they stand by it. Geologists maintain, however, that it does move, though so slowly you can't see it. So it's interesting to me. I don't know if this is something I could get to, but if I ever go to Aiken, South Carolina, I might try to find out where the Sand River is so that there may be something I could check out. And today's barking is brought to you by both Mary and Titan, because I left Kelly inside to kind of knock down the amount of barking today. So it appears that both Mary and Titan are going to get involved in it now. Anyway, the next little story says Emerald City. And if you've watched The Wizard of Oz, you might instantly think of Emerald City to do with the Wizard of Oz movie. And you're going to find out a little bit more about Wizard of Oz as associated with North Carolina too, but not in this particular instance. The Emerald City, it says, well, Emerald Town. Anyway, Hedonite, North Carolina is the home of Jamie Hill, aka, which means also known as the Rock Hound with the green thumb. Interesting. Rock Hound means a person who collects rocks that are important, and I think we have several rock hounds in our class. A green thumb refers to somebody who is able to grow plants that live and do very, very well. So interesting, rocks and plants. Okay. Hill owns a tract of less than 50 acres on which he has discovered some of the world's largest emerald. Oh, would I not love to own a piece of that land? Both in terms of size. So he's a 10-inch twin crystal discovered in 2006. And weight, he has a 1,861.9 carat called a hog's leg. That must be enormous. He found in 2003. I would be out every day, looking for an emerald if my land was producing emeralds of this size. Okay. He had already found the previous record holder in the 1980s, and that was 1,686 carats of emerald. If you don't understand what carat, C-A-R-A-T, means, it's not a vegetable. Look it up so that you can see carat size with gemstones, as well as some of the most valuable emeralds ever mined in North America. The 858 carat Empress Caroline and another 71 carat stone that was subsequently, means afterwards. So you can see subsequently means like sequence. Okay. Was cut into two stones. The 7.85 carat Carolina Prince, which sold for $500,000. Woo! And the 18.88 carat Carolina Queen, valued at $1 million. Do you see why it would be that I would spend all of my time looking on my land for emeralds? I have some land, and I don't have emeralds. Okay. And there may be more to come. Hill has recently discovered and began exploring a crystal-lined cavern on his mining property he calls Aladdin's Cave. He's convinced it will hold yet more amazing treasures. He has discovered a pattern, and that pattern is that on his land he has seen crystals of enormous value as emeralds in the past, so there's a good chance he's going to see them in the present. That's what patterns tell us. Hedonite itself is named for another green gemstone, named in turn for mineralogist W.E. Hidden, who discovered it while hunting for platinum. Oh my goodness. See, now I'm going to have to think about this thing. I think platinum's a metal. Oh, don't I wish I had Jake right now to help me with this little bit of information. Hidden had been hired by inventor Thomas Edison to survey various mineral locales for rare metals. There we go. Okay. He used in Edison's incandescent light manufacturers. See, what a beautiful connection Thomas Edison has to North Carolina. The mineral Hedonite is one of the rarest gems on earth, meaning rare means you don't see a lot of it. And has been found only on 2 acres in North Carolina. That's rare. And in extremely small deposits in Madagascar and Brazil. How are these deposits so rare and yet spread out? That's incredible. Jake, when we get back together, let's hope you can explain that to Miss Dean, how that could happen. Anyway, North Carolina is also the home of the world's largest sapphire, which weighs 385 pounds. Whoa. It is located in Franklin, an area famous for rubies. Woo. See, North Carolina, we have a lot to be proud of in this state. And how much information we were able to find in just this one small article. Now, this article, hard to see, and there's some pictures if my hand could get out of it, is about Healing Springs. North of Blacksville, South Carolina, is a tiny community of Healing Springs, named for a cluster of artesian wells where the water gushes up out of the ground under natural pressure at the edge of a small swamp. So if you had been reading this and you thought, what in the world is an artesian well, which Miss Dean butchered the pronunciation of, but an artesian well, it explained it. A cluster of artesian wells where water gushes up out of the ground under natural pressure at the edge of a small swamp. So it's not necessarily the swamp involved, but the natural water gushing up. Not exactly a mystery. The water is said to have remarkable healing powers, and people come from all over the region to fill up containers and lug it home. There's no charge, since paying the owner would be somewhat difficult, at least in this world. The springs are the legal property of God, left to him in his last will and testament of Mr. L.P. Boylston on July 21st, 1944. The waters have been known since ancient times for their miraculous powers. They first came to the attention of European settlers when Native Americans used the bounty of the springs to treat 4 wounded Tory loyalists given up for dead by British General Banastre, the Butcher, Tarleton in 1781. And it has in parentheses so that we can note this is an important detail. It says the Native Americans were frequently allied with redcoats during the Revolutionary War. After a few months drinking the waters, the men were raring to get back to the job of fighting patriots. And they have shown us not only a picture of some people coming to the springs to get water to take back home, but it also shows us the little sign that's there. And it says, and again, these are like little pictures help us to better understand and enjoy nonfiction articles. It says, God's Acre Healing Springs. And it says, according to tradition, the Indians revered the water for its healing properties as a gift from the Great Spirit that led the British wounded to their secret waters during the American Revolution, and the wounded were healed. The historical property has been deeded to God for public use. Please revere God by keeping it clean. Anyway, we will read more interesting articles from this book. I'm so happy that Tom shared this book with me. Never knew when he did that this would be a very good tool for us learning about the enjoyment of reading together and reading nonfiction articles as well. But anyway, you've got the opportunity, if you've got a computer now, most of you do, to find nonfiction articles to read and to learn about. And then when we're all back together, think of the exciting things and exciting bits of information you can share with the rest of your class. Boy, I'm looking forward to it. I tell you, for the first day, I won't tell you to hush. I'll let you tell us everything that you've learned. But do use this time to learn so that you have some time to be able to share with us when we get back together. Have a great day. See you later.